Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our online event, Harmony by Design, the integrated design approach for lighting and acoustics. I'm your host, Gurveer Brad, and I'm thrilled to guide you through today's discussion. And before I even dive into this, I would love to know where everyone is tuning in from. So drop a comment with the platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. It's always great to see how you are connecting with us. So we have an exciting session planned today for you, which focus on how the integration of lighting and acoustics can not only enhance the functionality of spaces, but also the aesthetics. And please feel free to leave any questions as we go along, and we will address those during our Q&A session at the end. So joining me today is a panel of experts. First up, I have Carl Bradford. He is design manager here at Hush Acoustics, and I'll let him elaborate on that.
Thank you, Kabir. Hello, everybody. Very excited to be part of this event today. So here at Hush Acoustics, we want to change your world by creating interior ambience that enables focus and improves well-being wherever people are interacting. We are so passionate about working with the A&D community and being able to solve acoustical challenges using our product that is designed and manufactured here in Canada. Thank you, Kabir.
Love it. And next up, I have Cindy Timani. She is an interior and product designer who specializes in developing and even working with interior designers here at Hush, and I will let her elaborate on that as well.
Thank you so much, Kabir. Yes, it's Cindy Timani here. I'm an interior designer and product specialist at Hush. I'm on the creative team. My job is to create the perfect design solution in any interior space given using acoustic products and help the clients to visualize the final result of the design in their space. And I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Thank you. And finally, we have Boris Gelfand. He is an acoustic engineer with an extensive experience in optimizing sound in diverse architectural spaces. If you could please elaborate on that as well, Boris.
Hello, my name is Boris. I'm an acoustical engineer here in Kash Acoustics, and I'm here to elevate the acoustical performance of the space through our manufactured products. With a focus on innovation and expertise, my role is to collaborate closely with architects and designers, providing them with a tailor-made solution to enhance acoustics in every project, regardless of the size. And my mission is to infuse each space with a warm and inviting acoustical atmosphere, enriching the user experience. Through my expertise in the acoustical engineering, I'm committed to delivering solutions that seamlessly integrated into design concept, ensuring optimal acoustical performance across diverse environments.
Thank you. And just on that note, we have a link in the chat for acoustical calculations. Looks like this. And to access this form, please click the link and you can get in touch with Boris for your next project, and he can help you improve the acoustics. So just fill that form out and then send it to this email that you see here, hello@hushacoustics.ca, and our team will let you connect with Boris. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the discussion for the day. And I would like to start with Carl. So let's start with a very fundamental question here, that why is integration of acoustics and lighting important in design in the first place?
Yeah, thanks, Kabir. So this is the overarching question of the day. And really, if you think about any space you've been into where there's been a perfectly orchestrated balance between both lighting and acoustics, it's a very pleasant environment. It functions well. And those using the space and working within that space can very efficiently complete those tasks. Now, the other thing to think about is the acoustic control and the lighting is typically in the same region of the room, this being in the upper levels. So as these two pieces are in the same space, it's very important that they are well thought out early on in the design process to make them efficient and cohesive in how they come together. Now, when these two pieces are thought about from the beginning, this efficiency will carry all the way through to the finished result, the end users in this space. So again, It's got a huge impact on the vibe, on the ambience, and on the experience in the room, as well as the experience through the entire design stages and the construction, and then right to the finished user experience. Thank you, Gabir.
Thanks, Carl. And there's no doubt that the integration of acoustics and lighting does set the mood up and feeling for entire space. And I would like to go back to Boris to talk more on how designers can work with acoustic engineers like himself to improve harmony in the spaces they're trying to design.
So basically, designers can collaborate with me from the project start to forecast needed treatments for each space and each room. This ensures sound performance aligned with the intended atmosphere. So we can suggest specific acoustical product from our product line and enhance that performance and integrate with the design of the room. And collaboration ensure compliance with the safety standards and clarity for meetings rather than online or offline meetings. And we can be sure that office space is good for people to work. And additionally, by working together, we can anticipate potential challenges and find innovative solution to create truly harmonious spaces.
Thank you. And I'm just trying to think if it's so crucial, what happens or what are the consequences if this is overlooked?
Mm, it's a pity to say, but sometimes such thing happening, and we also here to help in such cases. And I will recommend to work with the ceiling because the ceiling is the biggest area in the room in the most of the time, and we can place different type of absorbers and different volume of absorbers on the ceiling and make it not only technical absorber, but it also can be the main part of the room. So for example, this picture show very good room where we have a lot of different sources. The room is nice, but it have reflecting sources, such two parallel wall with the glass cabinets on the back and open ceiling and look like it's concrete ceiling. So here we have RT60 level standard around 1.92 seconds, and this is quite high reverberation time for such type of the room. And I will recommend to make reverberation time for such room around 0.8 seconds for such room, and it will be comfortable room for meetings, webinars, and also just regular talks. Here you can see the graph. So the red line reflect the reverberation time before treatment. The blue line it's after treatment, and the green line is standard. Standard is less than 0.6 seconds. It's quite low for such room, so we can forecast that the blue line will be quite good and we can reach less than 1 second. It will be around 0.8 average reverberation time for such room, and the room will look nice and it will be sounds very warm for the people who will work in this room.
Thank you. Very insightful, Boris. And there's no doubt that ceilings are like really reflective, and if you start working on that, you can really make a big impact. So, talking about that, I would like to bring up Cindy, and my question to you is, what challenges do you face when you have to design ceiling acoustics for a space where lights are already installed?
Okay, well, Gabir, to start with, in general, all design components should go hand in hand and be harmonious to a certain extent, of course. And by that, I mean that they should complement one another and they should build on one another to achieve the best result. Components like shadow, material, composition of colors, composition of geometry, the balance between the negative and the positive space, and the details and the style or the theme that I want to achieve in this space. So all of what I mentioned have specific roles and importance when designing. So basically, how this space makes me feel in general, my performance or the change in my performance in this space, and the impact of this space that it has on my memory after leaving it, is what is very important and what we should take into consideration when we're designing, because we are designing for a human. Now, to answer your question, the best thing you can offer a designer is a white plain canvas. So when we have control over the spaces elements, which it directly gives more flexibility to design and creativity. So limiting the design freedom, having less options, sometimes could also mean complicated solutions. And this design includes, and yes, the design does include problem solving. But of course, the ideal scenario would be to limit the problem and plan the space very well from the beginning, just to ease the design process and the installation process. Um, so all of what I've mentioned could be either an added value or an obstacle to choosing the right design for a space in terms of design. Another and a very important factor is the lighting. So the light installation that already exists in a given space could be like pendants, pot lights, or regular light bulbs. Uh, and usually we see this very often in office spaces. Also, the ceiling could have actually other components, just such as speakers maybe, or like HVAC, or alarms or sound systems. So having everything planned beforehand and knowing exactly what's the end goal of this space, and having space for the acoustic light or baffle installation will totally change the ambience. Now, for example, the picture we're looking at right here. This is an image of a fin baffle installation that could happen. This is like a typical office like look, I guess, with glass walls all over,
Yep.
which Boris already explained about this, how acoustically not friendly it is. This space has an industrial kind of like ceiling. Uh, so it could be really busy sometimes, and installing acoustic baffles on such ceiling can sometimes um, can hide the lights behind, right? Or like just like it doesn't serve very well, because the lights are there and then the baffles are going to come in the way. So sometimes this can be a very hard challenge to make the best design and also have everything aligned. But so we're working with now beam lights. If you look at this picture, the mood has changed. The light is directly focusing on the workspace, and everything looks like it's meant to be there. So this is exactly the message that we want to deliver. So yeah, the obstacles usually would be whatever exists on the ceiling, or the ceiling height, or the material of the ceiling, like what it's made from. Um, so um, so so respecting the space from the very beginning and working with it accordingly will give you always the best result.
Yeah, thank you, Cindy. Such an extensive answer. And I'm hoping the audience is finding this insightful. And I would like to remind you that you can still click the link in the comments and email that to hello@harshacoustics.ca to get your acoustical consultation with Boris. So next up, I would like to bring back Carl and just explore more on what Cindy already mentioned about these challenges and the problems designers run into. So what is Hush doing to address these?
Yeah, thank you, Kabir. So as you would have heard from Cindy's comments there, she was focusing specifically in that example on a typical office environment. And now for ourselves as approaching this challenge and to find a solution for it, we have to be mindful that we're going to be working in a lot of different environments. So it's very important that we are coming forward with a very diverse range of lights and acoustic products to be working in these different spaces. So what we've done, I'm just going to take you very briefly through the different products that we have come up with. The first product that we're going to speak to you on is called our Cocoon. Now here are some of the preliminary drawings, the designs, as we're working through it and trying to nail down the priorities. What this particular product has, it's a combination of two colors, but it's a large formation that has a lot of character. It's got curved panels to it to add more form, more creativity. And now this is the kind of light that you would use, for example, over a boardroom table, or even in a restaurant setting, over restaurant tables where you're trying to create some attention, some focal point to a specific area. But having a large acoustical performing structure like this is going to give you very, very big changes in the acoustic behavior in that space. Where take an intimate setting like a restaurant, it is important that the people using the space are able to hear each other well. So here we've combined the lighting feature, but also with a very high focal point from a design perspective. Secondly, we're going to look at the Fusion product. Now, the reason it's called Fusion is because we've brought multiple elements together to create this light. Now, Cindy will also elaborate further on as we go about the different textures that we're playing with. But here you can see we have what looks like a wood and a concrete. It's very rare that these two pieces are put together for an acoustical advantage. But now here what we have is these replicated textures in an acoustic form around a linear light. So we're very excited to be able to bring this forwards. Again, put this in an industrial space where it's very well suited. You can create a dramatic effect with full lighting control and obviously gaining the acoustic performance that you so desperately need in these spaces. It's so important for these environments. So now looking at the light beam. Now this is what you'd have seen in the example before that both Cindy and Boris have spoken to in that office environment. You might call it a typical linear LED light, but it has the acoustic shroud. Now this can be integrated with any of our acoustic products. In this example here, you can see it's being paired with the fin product. So you have that same linear look to keep it cohesive. Again, there's also some of our other textured products within that same setup that you can see. We have some of the wood grains to bring out the additional warmth. And then finally, we have the Luna product. Now, this is a little favorite, this one. You have these areas of any environment where you want to draw just a little bit of attention. You want to point out a detail. You want to highlight a specific space. And this is often done with pendant lighting. So we wanted to make sure we had a solution in regards to this pendant application. So here is the Luna. Again, we are playing with different textures to really create an emphatic point and put textures in places where often they're not seen in the same way and also heard and experienced. So this could be just illuminating some little seating areas, or also it's great for reception areas, as you're going to see in this next image, where we have a string of these different Luna products all creating a dramatic focal point over this bar area here, or reception area, and also controlling the acoustic performance that would typically be echoing and bouncing back and forth where there's a lot of this sound happening at the same time. Thanks for the opportunity, Kabir, to present these. I think you're muted there, Kabir.
Sorry about that. So yeah, loved all of them. And Luna has to be my personal favorite. We have interesting comments coming in as well. For example, Sophia thinks that they look very cool, and I totally agree. And just to discuss the design aspects a bit more, I would like to bring back Cindy. And the negative effects of working with hard surfaces in terms of acoustics. And like if we have these textures with the new lights, for example, our Luna. So if you could talk more about like textures and how these hush lights can help designers.
Well, Gabriel, this is my favorite topic, talking about textures and colors. Well, just like I mentioned earlier, having more space for creativity and no limitations in any design is the perfect scenario. Now, I know that acoustic panels are still new, like it's a new material. that has been implemented in interior design. And when I tell people like I can fix this space acoustically, they will directly think of some material that goes inside a drywall, or a typical, or like foam material, or like a typical tile that just like a block that you apply in, that we regularly see in studios. So it does surprise people when we discuss aesthetic acoustical installations with them. And yes, you can have them in many colors and textures in order to match any space designed. Personally, I like different stones and wood textures in some spaces and different applications. But sometimes such applications are not acoustically friendly to a space. Not only that, but it would also be too heavy to be a ceiling installation. Another important factor is the relation between light and acoustic panels. This mirage is a game changer, really. As a designer, I love it so much, and I find it easier to combine it with any environment. So we can definitely say that yes, we are finding many answers with acoustic solutions to the space we are designing.
Thank you, Cindy. And for sure, like you can eliminate those reflective surfaces in your space, but still keep their textures and improve the acoustical
Value.
performance. Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank
Absolutely.
you. So let's ask and discuss further with Boris on how to actually improve and what are the challenges that come with having these hard surfaces and not using acoustics in those similar spaces.
So basically, this is, let's say, nowadays challenge when you have in design a lot of reflecting surfaces, and it's not only the glass, it's also a concrete, marble, and all these nice smooth surfaces which used in interior. And to improve acoustical treatment for such room, we have some special tool in our arsenal, and one of this tool we can easily uh, integrate our acoustical panels to existing interior and make interior looks the same but sounds much warmer and better. And also we can easily forecast how the room will sound without acoustical treatment with the regular hard surfaces such as I mentioned before, marble and concrete and glasses, and how it will the room will sound after acoustical treatment, and everybody can feel the difference, and this difference will be visible in the graph. And also we have a special tool, so we can even make this room sound before and after.
Thank you, Boris. That definitely gives us a lot to think about, and I hope it's the same for the audience there. So let's move to our Q&A session and see what kind of questions do we have. So if you haven't posted any questions yet, please feel free to drop any questions that you might have. So I have an interesting question here about what design support and resources are available those interested in using these products. I think, Boris, I'll just bring you back and you can answer this question.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to answer this question. And yes, we have a lot of different things, and quite common and standard thing. First of all, we have CAD files for all of our products, and we are glad to provide custom CAD files for the custom product if it needed. And as I mentioned before, we have a special tool for forecasting, and you can find all the necessary spec sheets on our website, and also feel free to mail us and we can provide all the necessary information to you, and bring all necessary answer to questions you have about acoustic, about our products. And we are very glad to collaborate with everybody, and everybody are very welcome to us.
Love that. Thank you, Boris. And I have another interesting question come in that is, what material is Luna made of? So I'll bring Carl for that question. If you could talk to what kind of material we use for that.
Yeah, this is a great question, Lena. And so the material on all of these lighting products is all the acoustic products. The difference is the visual and textural finish on it. So specifically on the Luna light, it looks like a terrazzo stone. However, it is actually our acoustical product. So you're getting all those acoustical benefits, but with that modern, contemporary, and luxurious look of having the stone finish. And also looking at your question there about, can this be made into a wall sconce? Absolutely. So as we are the manufacturer, we love having this ability to adapt and to change and to make our products unique for the spaces that yourselves as designers are working in. So if any of these products you would like them adapted, in this case, as you've asked for the wall sconce, absolutely, we'd be very glad to work further with you on this and provide the wall sconce version for you. Thank you.
Love that. And that brings us to the end. Actually, we have one more question. Let's bring that up. So does the texture interfere on the acoustical property?
That's a good question, Vanusa. So the acoustic performance is not changed at all. So that is something that we're very pleased to be able to present, is that in any of these different textural surfaces, whether we're representing a wood, a concrete, a stone, you're still going to get your full acoustic performance. And the way that these textures are applied does not interfere with the fibrous makeup of the product. So yes, you still get full acoustic performance, even though visually it appears to be something very different. Thank you. That's a great question.
Thank you, Carl, for your answers, and I hope the viewers found that insightful. So that brings us to the end of the event. Thank you, Carl, Cindy, and Boris, for such an enlightening discussion. And thank you, everyone who joined us today here. Also, don't forget to check out the link in the comment section for getting acoustical calculations for your next project and get in touch with Boris. I would highly encourage that. And yeah, you can send that to hello@hushacoustics.ca. And yeah, thank you so much. And keep an eye out for our upcoming events. Have a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.